It's a movie coming out that I don't know if you know about. It's called the American Society of Magical Negroes. You heard about this?
I, I heard about it. Yeah, I heard it from Anthony Bryan Logan,
Oh
and
yeah, I saw him
actually this
talking about it.
morning.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw that this morning. But I didn't get to watch the trailer for it. But I heard about the synopsis of it, and who is producing this film? Do you know?
Let me see who's producing this film. It's a feature film that's gonna be in theaters. Like it's a
Has it
real
already been
movie.
released? Because I heard that it went viral. So I was wondering what went viral. Was it the trailer that went viral? Was
Well,
it
the trailer
the actual?
the trailer went viral. Maybe I can play it in the program. Let me see if I can.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I want to take you to a job interview.
There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say.
What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us.
That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
You ready?
Oh, wow.
But the premise of the movie is just like, it's a group of magical Negroes that
Actors, right?
yeah. And the main character is like a mixed kid, but it's a lot of prominent black actors in it, I think. But the whole premise is like these magical Negroes exist to placate to white people to keep them happy, so they don't become the most dangerous thing the world have ever seen, and that's a angry white person. And like it's a scene that pops up where this white person is about to get mad about something, or he's about to be sad about something, and a meter pops up next to him, and it has like white tears on it, and it's like a meter that's like kind of going up, and the dude has to kind of step into the situation and do some magic trick and like make the white person feel comfortable again and stuff like that. And it's like a love story involved, but the name and the premise of the movie is just a lot for me. And I don't know like what they're trying to do with this movie and what studio picked it up to put it in, like to give it a theatrical release. Like the whole thing was like a Key and Peele skit like a few years ago. I don't know if you ever
Right.
saw that. But
The thing about movies like this, and they come out ever so often. I know Barack Obama, yeah, he has his film production company called Higher Ground or something like that, which releases all of their films exclusively on Netflix.
they just dropped one,
Jay
right?
Z, yeah. Jay Z found himself in the film production industry. He's releasing, if not already, a film where Jesus is black and he's smoking weed and all this other nonsense. So, I mean, ever so often, y- they will release these films, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where you are kind of normalizing, uh, in this case, the beliefs and feelings and sensations that a lot of folks, unfortunately, in black culture have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Namely that, black people, we've always saved democracy, we have always saved, the world, and we are kings and queens and this, that, and the third. um, to the extent that you can keep people in this kind of stupor, you can always count on them to assist you with whatever political program you wish to push. And I know that seems far fetched, but again, this is the point of a lot of entertainment. This is the point of a lot of these films and stuff that get released. As I said earlier, a lot of what we see and how we see reality is shaped by what we see in entertainment. A lot of people, for example, their only idea of what slavery was like is comes from what they saw in the film Roots,
Right.
not from actual. I mean, they have the uh I forget what they called them, but they what was it called? There was an actual name for it, but some journalists actually interviewed real slaves, and they even got some of these interviews on camera where you had slaves, I think back in the 1930s and 40s, who were talking about their experience on the plantations and all the things. And it's a night and day difference from what those interviews revealed versus what we actually see in Roots. That's not to say that slavery was this, great time that everybody was having. But again, a lot of what we saw in films like Roots were, there were liberties taken.
Mm-hmm.
And again, so as you fast forward to today, whether you're talking about Jordan Peele's film Get Out, or even this film, The Magical Negro, and every film in between, which kind of reinforces this notion that you know white people need us, or that everybody wants to be us, or whatever the case may be. It, I think it has the same kind of intoxicating effect as alcohol.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is,
Like-
I have a friend who is a missionary, he and his wife, and they're serving in Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking him about his experiences there, and the people that he's met and all this. And he said, it's interesting that everybody is drunk and high. He says it's hard to get people to work because their whole strategy is to introduce like the free market to these people so that they can learn how to get on their own 2 feet without depending on the state, without depending on the government, and to also share the gospel with them, because we're trying to give you work ethic, but we're also trying to give you ethics.
Mm-hmm.
And work is a big part of that. And we're teaching them how to start businesses and do these things. But we're having a hard time because everybody just choose to be drunk and high. And as it turns out, the government incentivizes the drunkenness and the highness and the inebriation of its people, because the government has a vested interest in keeping the people intoxicated and thus debilitated enough to take care of themselves, to fend for themselves.
Mm.
And so if you think about it, if I can tell you on the one hand that you are oppressed and that the white man doesn't want you to get ahead, I can tell you that on one hand, that kills your spirit. But if I tell you at the same time that you're a king and you're a queen and everybody wants to be you and everybody's jealous of you, that gives you this kind of sense of entitlement. So not only are you not putting in the same kind of work ethic as your non-black neighbor because you feel like, what's the use? You also feel that you're entitled to reaping the benefits of living, housing, all the things that go along with it, because you're entitled, because you're a king and you're a queen.
Mm.
And so again, that I get that sounds like a far-fetched kind of stretch between a film like this and what it is I'm talking about. But what I'm simply trying to communicate is how films, music, a lot of these things reinforce the ethos, the pathology, and the mores of culture. And it kind of reinforces and validates a lot of the preconceived notions and mythology that Black culture has, that keeps them ever in this kind of chaotic, dysfunctional state. I'm hoping that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense.